and welcome to episode 58 of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name's Caroline and I'm coming to you today from my home in Fife in Scotland. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to have you here. As you can see, there is no Andrew. He's having a break. So it's just me. So with any luck, it should be shorter. You can find detailed show notes on the Arya Bark website, which is aryabark.co.uk. You can find me on Ravelry as either Arya Bark or my personal account, which is Slipstrava. We have a Ravelry group, which is the Arya Bark Podcast. We have a private group on the website for anyone who would like to take part in make-alongs and chatter and just other stuff. If you haven't already signed up, you go to the community tab, then groups. We'll ask you a few questions, make sure that you're a crafter, and then you'll receive a notification to say that you're able to log in. If you've already done that process, then all you do is log in. We have an Instagram page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have a Facebook page, which is Arya Bark Designs, and we have a Ko-fi page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We are running 2 make-alongs at the moment. The first is the hashtag ABD StashSmash 2022. It started on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group for your entry to count. Prizes will be drawn quarterly. The next draw should have been this week, however, I never drawn it. So we'll do that next week. So if you do have anything that's going into either of the make-alongs, make sure that they're in by no later than next Friday. And we'll do the draw next week. Physical prizes for the FO thread. Winner will be chosen by a random number generator. Mr. Bark and Andrew will choose an entry each month from the charter thread, and the winner will receive a pattern of their prize up to the value of £10. Now we haven't done that either, so what I'm going to do is I'll actually do all the prizes at the same time. Make life easy for myself. So there will be a winner for January, February and March for the pattern prizes, but we'll just do it every 3 months. Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. As long as it can be measured in metres, it can be entered. So knitting, crochet, chinizing, crochet, weaving and spinning. Goals are at your own discretion. You can increase and decrease whenever you like, or don't set a goal at all and just see how much stash you can go through. We don't mind. And each person then will have one FO thread post that all projects will be logged in. The next make-along is the hashtag Yappy and Scrappy Blanket Make-along 2022. Again, this starts on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group on the website for your entry to count. Physical prizes are drawn quarterly. We'll do the draw for that next week as well. Physical prizes for the FO thread, winner chosen by random number generator, and Mr. Bark and Andrew will choose an entry each month from the charter thread, and the winner will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10. Again, whips are allowed and multiple dipping is heartily encouraged. The only rule for the blanket make-along is it must be a minimum of 16 by 16 inches to qualify, and there's no maximum blanket size. Obviously that's entirely the crafter's choice. And make sure when you're putting your entries into the FO thread that you also place them into the charter thread to double your chances of winning a prize. This week we have coming in, going out, StashSmash whips, and I do require your help with UFOs. So we'll talk more about that later. There's just a whole lot of knitting, and timestamps for each section can be found in the description box below. I have received a gift from my very wonderful friend Heather, who contacted me, I think it was last week, and she'd contacted me and said, have you tried this wool? And would you like to? I was like, well, yes, I would. Thank you very much. I'm not going to apologise for the crinkle, because some people like it, some people don't. Now, what she sent me was, I'll turn it round, Cortina sock wool and some leftover wool that we had from some socks, and that's Crolando. Is it Crolando? I don't know. It's sock wool. Now I have measured this. This is 52.27 grams. That's enough to make a pair of shorties for me, because I've got tiny wee feet. So I'm going to give that a try. And this is like a brownie grey. And that's like a brownie green. This one here's like a brownie green. Now these are all 75% superwash merino. I think I put purpley blue. Alright, that's a purpley blue one. They're all 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 210 metres and 50 grams. More than enough to make socks from. So there is 420 metres of that one, 420 metres of that one, and as I said before, there is about 219 metres, so that's enough to make a pair of short socks. So all in, Heather very kindly sent me 1059.53 metres, which I'm hoping to get started very, very soon. So thank you again, Heather, it is greatly appreciated, and watch this space for socks. I have been, as you can see, very busy this week. The first project I have gone out, and this is the Muscle Bra by Isolde Teague. The goal for this week was to get the crown, I think it was, the goal this week was to put 5 inches on the body. As you can see, I have finished it. I did play a little bit of yarn tricking. I had measured it from the increases, and then I realised that you were actually to measure it for the crown increases, like right at the bottom. So this is it here, this is where I was last week. I have managed to finish the entire hat. I am very, very pleased. Not going to lie, I'm kind of pleased that it's done. The pattern's okay, I just got bored. It does look massive. Now this was the adult large size that I've done, and it's huge. Absolutely massive. I used Drop Sable shade 913 in winter. It's a 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 205 metres and 50 grams. I used 2. And I used a 3mm high sharp on a 16-inch cord. I did play yarn tricking, and there was 1 gram left, so I've used 405.9 metres. But Mr. Bark is very happy with his hat. He has worn it with the stitch marker attached. So now I can give it a wash, and then he can put it into his rotation. My next finished object, now I'm not going to hold this up because it weighs an absolute ton. To be precise, 1,640 grams, give or take. Because there is some question over how much of this colour was used. I did get myself slightly confused about how much of that's been used. So going from my what's left in a stash is where the confusions came in. So this is the Slipstrava blanket by Stephen West. I'll stick a picture in. I'll stick a couple of pictures in actually, because there was fun and games trying to get a picture of this the other day when I finished it. Modifications, absolutely none. followed the pattern as it was written. There were some parts that I enjoyed. The chevrons, I'm not going to lie, they were horrendous. It wasn't particularly difficult. They just took forever. Now by this point there was 1,656 stitches on the needle. The only part that I hated even more than the chevrons was the I-cord bind off. Now that took two and a half days to bind off. Don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely thrilled that it's done. Did like the wee triangles. That bit was fun. Like that. The bobbles were lots of fun. The slip stitches were fun. That bit I thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoyed it that much that I'm actually starting a blanket in this. And obviously that's just better. I went for the large size and it is absolutely massive. As you'll be aware, Arya is a big dog. In one of the pictures she's sprawled out like vomit all over this blanket and it doesn't look that big. However, if you see Arya in person, she is massive. So it kind of shows you the size of this blanket. Yarn that I used, the purple is Robin double knit in shade 17, which is purple. That's 100% acrylic. You get 300 metres and 100 grams. I used 303 grams, which is 909 metres. The next one is the silver, the grey silver colour. That is Pound Stretcher Blips and Glam DK, shade 15, which is grey sparkle. That is a 97% acrylic, 3% lurex. You get 296 metres and 200 grams. I think I used 560 grams or 828.8 metres. Not 100% sure. It could be slightly less than that. But we're just going to go with it because there's no way of me measuring how much I used. The next one is the cream, which is So Crafty, double knit in cream. It's 100% acrylic. You get 300 metres and 100 grams. This I used 395 grams or 1,185 metres. The next one is the aqua. Again, So Crafty, double knit in aqua. It's 100% acrylic, 300 metres and 100 grams. And that I used 1,146 metres, and that was 382 grams, and altogether I used 4,068.8 metres, and I am ecstatic. It was hard going. I think part of the problem was when I'd got to here, I wasn't 100% sure exactly, I'm sitting on it, how many of the chevrons that I should, where I was in the chevrons, and I think I'd got to about here. Now, the last time it was shown, the progress was about here, so I had done a fair bit. I think it was Tonya for Karma's Stitches asked how much I'd had left. And the running joke was, I was like, I've got 5 billion chevrons left to do. And it was one day I was like, I really need to find out exactly how much I've got, because I did get confused about wearing the pattern. And obviously you'll see it starts here. And I was like, right, I'm going to sit and work out exactly how many. So I brought up Stephen's picture and I counted the chevrons, and I was like, oh, well by this point I think I was here. I was literally here. And I thought, I really don't have that much left to go. So I literally pushed all my projects aside and worked on this. So I managed to get this part finished on Tuesday. late on Monday night I got that bit finished, and then started the iCloud bind off, and I finished it on Thursday. So it's now done. It has been washed, and I am so happy. There is currently a fight going on for the blanket because Ellie thinks it's hers, Arya thinks it's hers, and it's not, it's mine. I knitted it for me. So that is everything that I finished this week. Do I think there will be a finished object by next week? Probably no, because there's no anything anywhere near close to being done. But we'll just have to wait and see. My goal is to craft 26,000 metres. At the beginning of the week I had crafted 4,677.38 metres, and with the Musselburgh hat and the Slipstrava blanket, which I've finished, that has added 4,474.7 metres, which brings my total to 9,152.08 metres. I am so happy. I'm not going to lie, I am ecstatic. At the beginning of the week I had brought in 6,880 metres. The kind gifts from Heather has added another 1,059.53 metres, which brings my total this year to 7,939.53 metres. I'm not overly concerned because it is still under what I'm crafting out. And technically I didn't buy that, and I hadn't bought the stuff last week either, because that was a gift as well. And we've already realised, as I keep saying, yarn from my yarny corner doesn't count. So really I've not brought anything in. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. That brings my total to 7,900. No, I've already done that part. Duh. Which leaves two targets, 16,847.92 metres. I'm not overly concerned. Andrew's cardigan's going to take a couple of thousand. There's stuff in my stash that if I just got on with it, I could rattle that out, so I'm not overly concerned. I have crocheted 174.04 metres this year. I have knit 8,978.04 metres. I've not spun anything and I've not woven anything this year. I am taking part in the Ravelry Project Challenge. My challenge is to craft 30 projects in 2022. I have completed 8, which, if I could be bothered working out the maths, might not be that great, but I don't care. That is 27% towards my target. I'm not going to get hung over on that. Do I really care if I don't meet that goal? No, particularly. Do I really care if I don't craft 26,000 metres? No, really. I'm not going to get fined. There isn't any negative to me not hitting that target, so I'm just going to keep crafting on and see what I can get done. Obviously, because of the Stephen West blanket, there is very little progress to my projects. I have made some progress, but just not as much as what I'd hoped for. My first project is the basic socks with integrated heel by Albina McLaughlin. These are the cuff down. It's toe up, cuff down. These are cuff down socks. When you buy the integrated heel socks, you get two patterns. You get a pattern for going toe up and a pattern for going cuff down. So, where was I? Yes, when you buy the pattern, you do get the toe up and the cuff down version. I think it's I don't know. It is a paid for partner on Ravelry. I think it's about £3-4, something like that, maybe a bit more. But it does tell you how to do the integrated tail, which is the reason I bought the pattern in the first place. This was where I was on this sock. This one, I think I was about here. I had only done a wee bit. Yes, I finished that and then I started the second one. The goal was to get the second sock up to where this one was, which I've done. So I'm pleased. I think I have to do 5 inches on the leg before I start the heel, so I'm hoping to get that some more work done on that later. This is making a size UK 9 modification. I'm not making any at all. I am following the pattern as it's written because I want to know how to do the integrated heel cuff down. This is Popeye Yarn Company and the shade Splattered Ink. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 425 metres and 100 grams. I am using a 2.25 high sharp and I'm using a 32-inch cord. I think the goal for next week will be to get some more work done on the leg, and since I have a stitch marker handy, I'm going to put a stitch marker in. So I've marked where I am this week. I'll just use that yellow marker, so that is then marked up. So I'm just going to keep working on these, probably on natter, or if I'm in the car, because that's just stop and stitch until I hit 5 inches. My next project in my lovely bag from Raylene is Crabby Pants Cardigan. This is Great Love by Anchor's Trick. The goal was to complete 3 inches. I don't think I did. I'll just be honest, I don't think I did. Done 2 1/4 inches, so I'm not that bothered with it. This was where I was last week. I have added a few more decreases. I think I've only got about 2 decreases to go, and that will be the front's done. Then it's just working the pattern until I get to the length for the pockets. Size, I am doing a size 6, which is an extra large. It is 146 centimetres or 57.5 inches after I block it. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. If there is anywhere else that you can purchase the pattern, I will link it in the show notes. And I am using So Crafty Aran yarn in shade Elephant. It's a 75% acrylic, 25% wool. You get 800 metres and 400 grams. I am still working on the first 400 grams. It has come down a bit. As you can tell, I've had to rip some out. I did get the pattern. The pattern isn't difficult. I get a little bit carried away. Now, is the stitch marker? Yeah. So I'm having to rip it back to here. So I'm having to rip all that back out to get to here, because the pattern's not right. Instead of doing on the front, you do X amount of knit stitches and then a purl stitch. What I've done is the correct amount of knit stitches and 2 purl stitches, which has knocked it off the one. I hadn't got that far. I think I'd got to this side and noticed that the pattern was off a wee bit. So I'll turn it back to the front, I'll take it back into here, and then I'll just keep carrying on with it. Now I need to find the stitch marker again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in the row below, because that's going to have to come out. So I've moved it up to the row below, and then that way when I take it back, it's going to be correct. I'm still enjoying the pattern. It does require a wee bit more concentration than I would have liked, but Andrew likes it, so I just need to keep working on it. Goal for next week, I'll go for another 3 inches on it. So I've not really got that much left to go. Not really got that much left to go until it's done. My final project is the one that's seen the least amount of work, and that is my bridge before home. I have put the grand total of 1 round in this pattern. It's had no love whatsoever, which is a shame because obviously I do want to get this done. This is the bridge before home kibble. It is an amalgamation of the bridge before home socks by Angela McGowan. Stick a picture in. And the sockhead kibble by Kelly McClure. Again, I've not done that much. I'm still on the ribbon while I'm here. The problem I have at the moment is all my patterns are pretty much at the same stage of being at the beginning, apart from Andrew's cardigan, which is in a permanent state of being worked on and ripped out every other day. I am using Nick Picks Felice in shade River Rock, which is here. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Yes it is. And you get, now it is, nope, can't remember, 199 metres per 50 grams. The plan is to use a 2.25mm for the ribbon and a 2.75mm high sharp on a 16-inch cord for the body of the cowl. And then what I'll do once I get to the 4 inches for the sockhead cowl ribbon, I will weigh my yarn, make a wee note, and then that way I know when I get to that much, when I have that much left, then all I have to do is start on the ribbon. I think it's going to be awesome if I can come off Ribbing Island. I don't think it would have been as bad had I not decided to do twisted rib instead of the normal 1x1 rib. The Bridge Before Home socks is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I will leave a link in the show notes. The sockhead cowl is a free pattern on Ravelry and on the designer's website. I will leave details for that again in the show notes. I think my plan is going to have to be to get the ribbon finished. I don't think it will take that long to complete the pattern, because the pattern is highly addictive. Hence why it only took me 4 days to complete a pair of socks. I actually think it took longer to knit the feet than what it did to do the pattern. I do want it done. Sorry, I'm sitting here knitting. So it is just about working out when I can work on it and finding the time to purposely work on it, because it should be a lot of fun once I get started. That is all my whips that I've worked on this week. Not as much progress as I hoped, but hey ho. As you can see, the current projects that I'm working on is the sum total of 3. Sockhead cowl has been finished, and the Slipstrava blanket has been finished. I spent most of Friday trying to decide what I was going to work on next, and then I had a little brainwave that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you pick which project I complete next. So the 3 that I've picked out are ones that one hasn't been, well, one was started and I ripped it back out, but I still want it done. The second one, again, all of these I want finished. I just can't decide which one I want to work on. So we'll do the first one first. It is the lavender charm top, which is pattern number 213-22, and that is by Drops Design. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. The yarn is still sitting in its project bag after I ripped it out when I mucked up the pattern. The size that I'm going to make is size 2, which is a medium, and that is 46 inches. The yarn that was chosen is Drops Muscat, which is a DK, in shade 4, which is lilac. It is 100% cotton. You get 100 meters in 50 grams, and it uses 4mm needles. They're still sitting in the bag waiting on it. I want the top. I think what I'm going to do is I may possibly do the first size for the neck. Now, as you can see, I am wearing another Drops pattern. I love this top, however, all I seem to do is sit and try and hide my brass straps from the neck. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the Drops patterns with a slightly smaller neck, and then increase it out to the actual size that I'm making for the body. So that's the one modification that will get me to that. The next pattern is Nightfall Shawl by AK Lorry Designs, and I'm a fair bit into this pattern as it stands just now. Again, that's another pattern. Do I really need another shawl? No, particularly. Do I want this shawl with a burning passion? Yes, I do. So that's going to be project number 2. That I am using Stanley Yarns Muffin Mini Luxe in shade 1542. That doesn't have a shade name. That is a 90% acrylic, 10% lurex. You get 1000 meters and 250 grams. It is a paid for pattern on Laurie's website, where she has a load of other patterns. I just wish I had more time because I would do them all. The plan will be to use continue using the 5mm Knit Pro Symphony Chinazine hook. So that's the second project. The third one is the Count and Sheet blanket by Lisa Hannon Fox. That is a double knit pattern, as in double knitting, not DK as in yarn weight, although I'm using DK as a yarn weight. I am using Robin double knit in shade 44, which is black. That's 100% acrylic. You get 300 meters in 100 grams. The white, I am using Yarn Fair Tootsie in the shade Baby White. And that again is 100% acrylic. You get 150 meters in 50 grams. And I will be using a 3.75mm high sharp. Again, that's a paid for pattern on Ravelry, or you can purchase it from Lisa's Etsy shop. Like the rest of the patterns, it's a pattern that I'm wanting to get finished. That is going to take a lot more work because it is quite hard going. It takes a good couple hours to get a row done because of how big it is, but it's awesome. Now, on Ravelry, I have started a poll, which is called Episode 58 Poll, where you can go on and decide which pattern is the next one that I work on. I'm going to leave it open until next week, and that way it will give me a chance to get some more work done on the 3 projects that I'm currently working on. So, all you do is go into the thread, choose which project you would like me to work on. If you are unable to use Ravelry, you can leave a note at the bottom of this video, and I will add that to the totals of the poll. I genuinely, those were the 3 that I whittled it down to, and I'm not going to start all 3 because I just don't have the time to work on that many projects in one week. So I am leaving it up to you lovely people to decide which project is going to be the next one that I spend a significant amount of time on to get finished. Now I'm desperately trying to get things cleared off because on the 16th of April, the lovely Tonya from Karma's a Stitch here on YouTube and on Instagram is having a cast on party again. Now I thoroughly enjoyed the last cast on party. I'm trying to think what a cast on. The lavender charm top was cast on and obviously I had to rip that back. The other one was the blue Arden top that I cast on. The Musselburgh hat was cast on. I'm doing not too bad when it comes to casting things on. So don't get me wrong, I do have a look on Ravelry at times and go, oh, that would be lovely, let's buy that pattern to cast on. It's like, you don't need to cast on all the projects. I'm wanting to get some more stuff off the needles by then. Now I've got a couple of weeks. It is possible to get some more stuff off. I don't honestly think that Andrew's cardigan is going to be cast off by then. But before Home Cow could possibly be cast off before then. The integrated socks, there's every chance if I actually just worked on them that I could get them done. So that is an option. And then come next week I can add more projects on. So that's my plan. I would like to thank everyone for their wishes last week. I am feeling a lot better than I have been. I still feel sick pretty much all the time. The pain hasn't came back, which is great. And I'm just waiting on the hospital to let me know when I have to go in and get more tests done. Anything else? I don't think so. I'm having to think what I want for my birthday because that's coming up. Again, I still don't know. I need more wool, like a hole in the head I think what I'm going to do next week is, because that'll be the week before. That's right. Yeah. That'll be the week before the cast on party. I think I'll run through what I'm planning on working on. So I need to get that list down. I don't think I'm going to be casting on thousands of projects. I'll maybe cast on 2 or 3 and see if I can get them done. Or I might just cast on some of the projects that I've got already lined up, and then I can get that off the 2 lists. I feel rather rambling. So I'm going to go, because it's lunchtime and I'm hungry, and there may or may not be soup from the cafe down the street calling my name. So if you can hear it, apologies. I can't help that that soup is shouting on me. Again, knit natters are a Monday. No, it's not. That's Tonya's knit natter. Can you tell I'm getting hungry? My brain leaves. My brain's fixated on what I can order for my lunch. Knit natter is a Wednesday at 8 PM British Summer Time, or a Friday morning at 11 AM British Summer Time. If you would like to join in on either of the knit natters, then direct message me on Instagram. I will add you to the private group, and in that group you'll get passcodes and room IDs, and you get to chat in between. Yeah. So that is that. I think that's everything. I have managed to chat for an hour on my own. I think some of that might need to cut. So I hope you have a very, very crafty week, and I will see you back here again next week. Bye!